Michael, what's interesting about that is, in order to, I mean, that picture would have had to have been so clear that it was somebody else to fly in the face of the evidence that was presented, right? Because we had this whole theory, which I don't think anybody bought, this idea that he was being framed, but yet and still, they looked at that video. I thought the gate analysis was a little interesting as well, but they looked at those videos, they looked at those pictures, took them 11 hours, even in the face of all that evidence.
When I saw that, when Draskovic zoomed in on that in the closing statements, I sat back and I think I literally lost my breath for a minute, and because I was so convinced that the evidence was overwhelming and there was no contravening evidence, right? So I think when the jurors saw that, they had to do their homework. If you're sitting in that jury room and you are about to convict someone to life, right, and they are saying that they were framed, look, I don't believe anytime a defendant says I was framed, to me, there's no defense. As a former public defender, I would see hundreds of defendants. Almost every single one of them at least thought they didn't get a fair shake by police. They didn't look at the right person. They arrested the wrong person. So when people say I was framed, I just kind of dismiss it out of hand. But it's possible. People have been framed before. It's very rare, but it happens. So if you're sitting in that room, and this is the only time in your life you've interacted with the justice system, right? You're a juror. You're not an attorney. You're not a prosecutor. You're thinking to yourself, what if this person was framed? What if? Because that picture looked like somebody different. And it's one of the things where the prosecution literally stepped into it. They made the jury know before they saw that picture, hey, whoever murdered Jeff German was driving this Denali, and this Denali belongs to Robert Tellis. So at the end of the day, your sense of justice as a juror, you think to yourself, if I convict a person who was framed, I'm giving in to the bad guys. So they did their homework, but at the end of the day, they were overwhelmed by the overwhelming avalanche of evidence against Robert Tellis. And before that, I thought they were going to deliberate probably for like 5 seconds. I thought this would be the first jury we'd ever see that just didn't deliberate. They just ruled right there, but with just a head nod, right? But I think they took their time because of that zoomed in picture, which that clearly looked like someone different.
Yeah.